Hello, everybody. This is Barry, and you're watching Barry and the PI. Uh, I'm going to sing you a little ditty, little song. So here goes. The streets of Rome are filled with rubble. Ancient footprints are everywhere. I know things are going to be different when I paint my masterpiece. As Bob Dylan and the band, uh, I've been a big fan of Bob Dylan's for a long, long, long time. I'd never heard of him until I got out of the Navy and went back to Austin and enrolled in the University of Texas. And a girl who knew the kinds of music I liked, she said, "Hey, have you heard of Bob Dylan?" I said, "No." And so I went and bought an album of his, and I was floored. The guy is just a poet, a way of with words that few people can match. Uh, so I've been a big fan of his, and this is a song he wrote with the band at Big Pink called "When I Paint My Masterpiece." Now, I'm going to paint my masterpiece soon. I've got to go and buy some paint and canvas, and I'll try coming up with my masterpiece soon. So I've talked about this a long time, about my youthful days, my childhood days. I was born in Port Arthur, Texas, in November 1st, 1942, and Port Arthur is not one of the beautiful cities of Texas or anywhere. It's full of refineries, oil refineries, and not much else. And my father was an electrician at one of the refineries, and but my older brother, who had been born in about 1936 or 7, uh, he was born disabled, and the doctors said that we should take him up to Austin, where there's the Austin State Hospital and schools for people with disabilities and psychological problems and stuff like that. And so when I was about 1 year old, we moved to Austin, Texas. Boy, thank God for that. Austin is just a dream city to grow up in. Lots of stuff to do there. Had one of the best park systems in the country. I learned to swim at those neighborhood parks, and I worked at one which is in my childhood neighborhood, Go Valley. When I was in college, I had a summer job working as a park leader kind of thing. And I enjoyed doing that. And the kids really did like me. My father-in-law, who was the head of the Austin Parks and Recreation Department, said that I was doing a good job because had, uh, they had fewer police calls to come to the park for one reason or another while I was there. So I did that for 2 summers. I just beat working for my dad as an electrician apprentice. I hated doing that. So I really got into folk music and the 60s rock music, and I enjoyed that. Austin was becoming the music capital of the world uh, back in those days, and still to today. So we moved into this, but my parents had moved up here, and they had taken them over to look at the state schools, and said, "No, this is not for him." And our neighbor right across the street at the elementary school was the principal, and he got to know my brother and said, "Oh, your brother can come to school here," and so he did. And so I was a little Tom Sawyer. I had, my mother had a hard time keeping shoes on my feet, as I was always taking them off and running around the neighborhood. And that lasted till I was in junior high. And then I started wearing shoes. Uh, but it was a good place to. It was a blue collar. Most of the people, families there were, their parents were plumbers, carpenters, electricians, bricklayers, that kind of uh, jobs. And the homes were modest. We rented a home. We didn't own it. Uh, for a while there, it was a duplex. We had one. Later on, when I was getting about 9 years old, uh, a family moved in there, a mother and a daughter and their son. Uh, their father had been killed during World War II. Uh, as I grew up, World War II was going on, and I remember a lot of talking about it and newspapers and stuff talking about it. Uh, I didn't know why, but I uh, knew about the war as a young toddler. Uh, and It was a great place to. We were always getting had young kids my age, and we were always getting together and get up football teams and play football or baseball. Uh, Sometimes basketball, but basketball wasn't as big back then. Football was the main thing, and so any times we could get a few kids together, we'd play football or baseball. Uh, so also during that time, I found out that a lot of little girls liked me, and especially the one that moved in to the duplex with us. She was 1 year older than me. I was 9, I think. And Dorothy was, she was free spirited. And we used to go over to the Boy Scout hut on the school grounds, and we would sneak in there and take our clothes off and experiment. Uh, so that happened a lot to me when I was a little kid. Uh, so I don't know. They sure did like me, and still do. Uh, so we didn't have TV at that month at that time. We didn't get television until about 1950, 51 or 2, when the LBJ company, uh, hey, no, no, get away. No, Lily, stop that. I'm sorry. I had to prevent a fight from the beginning. Uh, where was I? Okay. So we didn't get a TV set when we lived in that house. Oh, no, we bought a TV set because KTBC, owned by the LBJ company, former President Lyndon B. Johnson, he was a power in Austin. And my parents bought a TV set. The station had not started yet. Uh, we would sit there, and all you could see was this Indian chief figure on there. And we'd sit there and we'd look at that Indian chief figure and talk about, oh, what are you going to see? What are we going to see? Oh, I want to see Howdy Doody. Oh, I want to see the Lone Ranger. All of this stuff as kids. And then we moved to North Austin, Harriet Court. It's a nice house, not real big. It's really 2 bedrooms, or 2.5 bedrooms, I guess you'd say. And I became a teenager and went to junior high school at Lamar Junior High. It's a brand new junior high school that opened. I was one of the first students there. So I met a lot of new kids too, and it went pretty good for a while. I had some run-ins with some teachers that we did not like each other. Let's put it that way. And couldn't wait to get to high school. And then I couldn't wait to get out of high school. So I was always adventurous, always coming and doing something, always bringing home bugs and leaves and stuff to study. And I had read Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and I said, that sounds a lot like me. And but anyway, I was a lot of things going on at that time: Cuban Revolution, and then the Cuban Missile Crisis. And then I joined the Navy after high school, and first time out of the state, flew to California, San Diego for the basic training, which is hellhole. I couldn't wait to get out of finish that up and get it to whatever I was going to be sent to. And it was pretty good, and I got sent to Crow's Landing, California, which small base, only 90 men and only 2 officers. The place was pretty much run by the chiefs, and our field existed for one reason, and that we had the mirrors set up on the runway, and teams from other squadrons from other bases would come and spend the day practicing landing with using those mirrors. And it was a very laid-back kind of place. People loved coming there because we had the best food in the Navy. All of our vegetables are fresh right off the farms. Farmers grew crops right up to the edge of our landing fields. And uh, one of the locals, he was an ex-Navy man, and he got married, and they started renting a farm there. He had a farm, and his daughter was in high school, and they used to come to the Listmen's Club. We'd have special dances and all kinds of things. They'd come and bring their daughter, and uh, we were getting along pretty well. And then I had my 2 years were up there, and I went to Moffett Field and VA 215, flew the old A1 Sky Raiders, a propeller-driven bomber, a dive bomber, essentially what it was. And that's where I spent the rest. And I was a kiddie cruiser, so I got out uh, just before I was turned 21, I think, or 20 or 21, I can't remember. And I'd already taken the test, SAT test to go, and so I was accepted into the UT, so I immediately returned and went back to Austin. My little brother was in high school then. Uh, he was a very athletic kid, played baseball and football, and he was playing baseball and stealing a base, and he slid in, and his knee got caught, and it just wrecked his knee up. He could never play sports again, other than golf. He liked playing golf too when he got rich. But yeah, he became very wealthy, uh, and but he didn't include me in his will, unfortunately. So that's about youthful days and early adulthood. Hope it's interested you some, and please watch through, watch all of it. That helps my algorithms, and uh, I'll get. I'm thinking of doing a PayPal here for my channel, so I'll let you know when I have something like that. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Uh, Hope you like my masterpiece song, and y'all have a great day, and stay safe. Take care of your family. Take care of your kids. Take care of your pets. And we'll see you back here again soon.